Is rock dead? Now, I used to work at a station called K-Rock, KROQ in Los Angeles. That's an alternative rock radio station. And that radio station played a lot of songs from the 90s, a lot of songs from the 2000s. And for good reason. Those songs were better than new rock songs we got at the station. Okay? And people largely preferred those old rock songs because rock was a very vital genre for a long time. And you will see this with almost every single genre. Hip hop is going through it actually right now for the very first time. Where think of a genre like geography. Think of it like a landmass. You get to the edges of a landmass, there's nowhere else to sonically explore. You get rock and roll, you get heavy metal, you get alternative rock, you get psychedelic rock, you get hard rock, you get rap rock. What do you do after that, bro? Not a whole lot. It's very derivative after that. We're seeing that with hip hop, where you had boom bap hip hop, and then you had gangster rap, and then you had, let's say, the bling era. And then you had the emotional era of Drake and Kanye and 808s and Heartbreak. And then you had the Travis Scott era of SoundCloud rap and rage rap. And then you had the Migos, which ushered in a new era of Southern rap. You had crunk in there. I skipped over crunk. You had trap music. And then you get emo rap. And then there's nothing else to explore, right? And that's why it's in a lull right now. Like rock went into a lull 20 years ago. Now, isn't that interesting? When was rock invented, basically? 1950s? When was hip-hop invented? 1970s? Oh! Could this be a natural cycle that happens with genres? Yeah, it is. It is. So people have been asking, 30 years, 20 years, is rock dead? Rock might be dead. Rock might be dead, bro. I want to show you something right now. Okay? Look at this. Can you guys see that? Okay. Following a deluxe reissue, My Chemical Romance's 2004 album, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, has hit the top 10 for the first time. Okay. It's half the story. Look at this Billboard 200 chart. What do you notice about this Billboard 200 top 10 chart? You notice that Morgan Wallen, I'm the Problem, spends 4 weeks at number 1. Lil Wayne has the top debut of the week with the Carter 6. And Hypen has an impressive debut at number 3 with their Desire Unleash album project. Addison Rae debuts at number 4, as we mentioned earlier tonight. SZA, SOS, still being strong at number 5. Long time after that was released. Years, hasn't it? At number 6, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, My Chemical Romance. At number 9, Never Enough, Turnstile. We have a deluxe reissue of a rock album from 20 years ago, maybe 21 years ago, beating a new rock album from 2025 from the best rock band going today, Turnstile. I mean, rock is dead, man. From a commercial standpoint, I get MCR is one of the biggest rock bands of the 2000s. I get that. Trust me. I was a 2000s kid, bro. I remember MCR. I remember kids starting to dress differently around the time that music came out. I remember the first time I ever saw I'm Not Okay, the music video on MTV in the morning before I went to middle school, dog. That's how old I am. And I remember going, this rules. This is different. I've never seen people that look like this on MTV. Right off the back of that, MTV started playing Hawthorne Heights. Nicky FM. Blew my mind when I heard that song, bro. I was there. I wasn't an emo kid. I'm not trying to be a poser, but I loved that music. They've got a big tour coming this year. Emo music is still huge, still streams out the wazoo. But I think you really got to check the health of a genre. When an album from 20 years ago, the deluxe reissue of it, outsells a new rock album from the biggest rock band right now going in the scene, if you will, what does that say about the genre? Does rock music still exist? Yes, of course it does. Are there going to be people commenting on this video saying, oh, then explain this, then explain that? Don't call Sleep Token rock, dude. I know Sleep Token had that #1 album a couple weeks ago. I know Ghost had a #1 album. I think that was a lull in releases right before the summer heat came. I think that was an opportunistic chart hack. There are some songs on that Sleep Token album, and I've only listened to a couple of the songs. They're not rock. They're not rock. I'm talking about rock, dude, with a capital R. And I don't know what it says about the genre that My Chemical Romance outsold Turnstile in 2025. Because I'll tell you right now, dude, Van Halen wasn't outselling My Chem in 06. Journey wasn't outselling Newfound Glory in 04. They weren't, dude. But now they are. Now the 20-year-old bands are. And you got to ask yourself, what does that mean? And the problem why rock, you want to know a real problem? Because, dude, okay, I used to be on effing K-Rock, dog. I was the rock host for Amazon Music. Okay? I've experienced some rock in my life. I've seen some rock. I think I could speak on this. What hurts the rock community and what hurts rock music is the denial with which they live within. Okay? Why don't you have this difficult conversation? But I guarantee you that's not what the comments of this video are going to be. The comments of this video are going to be, yo, what do you know? You don't even know what you're talking about, dog. Like, you know how many great rock bands are out there? It's because rock radio doesn't play rock music anymore. They don't play new songs anymore. I'm telling you right now, if there were vital hits emanating from new rock bands, rock radio would play them. Kevin Weatherly in Los Angeles at the world famous K-Rock, the program director that is there now and built K-Rock through the 90s and 2000s and 2010s, he would play it if it was a hit. The problem is, when they do the surveys, when they do the market research, when they look at the streaming numbers, Linkin Park in the end is still bigger and more preferable than whatever the new band that you're talking to me about in these comments, their new song is. And until rock has that conversation, they're just going to continue getting mad at people like MGK who actually brings their music and brings guitar music to the mainstream. And then you can argue with me all day long. Oh, that's not what rock music's about. It's more than streams. It's more than album sales. Really? For a long time, it wasn't, bro. For a long time, it was about that. You can go down the list. They debate this in sports, right? The GOAT conversation. Do they need a ring to be in the conversation of being the GOAT? How many rings do you need to be in the conversation of being the GOAT? I think in the world of music, it's #1 albums. It's record sales. You know? I had this conversation with a buddy of mine, Shavo, from System of a Down. And he was asking me, yo, who's on the Mount Rushmore for, like, in my opinion, for his generation of rock music? I said Korn. I said System. And then it got dicey. I said Linkin Park. And then it was tough. I forget who I put forth. All those people sold records, dog. All those people sold records. So, I mean, there's a problem in rock music right now. We got to figure it out, man. If you like rock music, you got to figure it out. I'm here for it. I want to figure it out. But as long as we keep living in denial, we're not going to fix the problem, bro. A 21-year-old reissue should not be beating Turnstile. And it's not a knock on Turnstile. Let's make that clear. I'm just saying, dog.